Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today, and welcome to today's Shortcuts classroom training. My name is Chris, and I'm the Shortcuts educator for the South East. So today, what we'll be looking at is going through setting up commissions and reporting. So, Shortcuts classroom training for reporting. So, how can our reports accurately help us to understand our business better, and what information is available to us through these reports? So that's one of the main things we're going to be looking at today, all of the reports we have on offer and how we can use them to help our business grow. Okay, so in this session, as well as looking at commissions and specific reports for our commissions, we'll be covering some of the most important reports. So what are the most important Shortcuts reports you should be running, and what are they telling you? What kind of information can we get from them? Shortcuts reports, they're designed to help you work smarter and ultimately save you time. So today we'll be showing you reports to use to have a look at the basic fundamentals of our reports and how we configure them, how we can export them, and how we can use them. And we'll also be looking at boosting appointment book scheduling and efficiency, and also we can track employee performance. But we will be looking at much, much more. Now, there are quite a few reports to get through, so please bear with me. I've chosen my favourite few ladies and gents today. If there are anything that we haven't gone through, anything you want to go through, please just drop me a message either at the end of the session or drop me an email, and we can always go through it at a later date. So, as with all of our webinars and our sessions, they are recorded to YouTube, and you will be sent a recording as well. If not, you're more than welcome to contact us at education@shortcuts.co.uk, or of course you can phone one of our friendly help desk team on 0161 972 4900. But as well, you will also get my email address just at the end, so you're more than welcome to just drop me a couple of messages. Perfect. Okay, ladies and gents, let's jump straight into it. So I'm just going to open up Shortcuts, and you can see it's taken us straight to today's appointment. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to set up somebody's commission schedule. Now, hopefully when you ladies and gents go to set this up, you will know exactly the commission schedules, the commission breakdown, people's wages, that kind of thing. So please make sure you do have that information to hand before you go ahead and set up your commission schedule. Okay, to set up someone's commission, all we need to do on the right-hand side of our navigation bar, all we need to do is just click straight on to setup. Click onto employees, and then find the relevant employee. Now, I'm going to be working on James today, so as we can see, we have his employee profile in front of us. On the bottom left-hand side, you will see a section here where it says commission. Now, at the moment, he isn't linked to any commission schedule, which is what we will be setting up in just a few seconds. So some information we do need to fill out: his base salary, if applicable, or his hourly rate, if applicable. And we also has his taxation code. His taxation code is his national insurance number, so we can pop that in there. Okay, once we filled out this relevant information, we can start to build his commission schedule. Now, it is hidden away, so all we need to do is, once we're on the employee profile, is just click onto schedule just here. And you'll see it takes us to James's schedule. Now, like I said, it is hidden away, so you will see here with a little spanner, it just says commission. So all we need to do is click onto this. Okay, at the top you will see if there are any existing commission schedules set up. So we can see we have already set up Sarah's, but we're going to create a brand new one. Now, for those of you already familiar with certain features in Shortcuts, you will know anything that we want to create new is a big green cross with the new button underneath. So all we do is we click new. And we can enter a name. Now, for this, I'm going to be doing it for James, but you may wish to do it something a little bit more generic. This could be something like graduate stylist, senior stylist, director commission schedule, or it can, of course, be like I'm going to do specific to an employee. So I'm going to call mine James. And when we're happy, we just click done. Okay, you will now see we have some empty squares on the left and some empty squares on the right. So we have our service, our retail, and our sundry. Our service is any commission they will make on services. Retail will be any commission they make on retail sales. And anything for sundry will be things like gift cards, gift certificates. Now, we don't typically set it up for sundry, but I will show you how to do it anyway. So if you think of this, this works in like a tier section. So I'm going to say from £0 up into £1,000. James will earn nothing on his services. So I'm basically saying he will have to make a basic of £1,000 to start earning commission. He's going to earn nothing on retail and nothing on sundry. But I'm going to say from 1,000 and a penny. We always do a penny because that will take us to the next tier, up into £1,500. He will earn 10% on services, 10% on retail, and nothing on sundry. Okay, moving on to the next tier. So again, I'm going to do 1,501p up into £3,000. He's going to earn a 15% commission rate, 10% still for retail, and again, nothing on sundry. Now, for our next tier, he's going to earn from £3,000 up into infinity. So this is where our commission will be capped, so to speak. I'm going to say from here, he's going to earn 20% on services and 20% on retail. So what this means is from the first zero, so nothing, up into £1,000, he will earn nothing across the board on his commission. Anything over £1,000 up into £15,000, on that amount, he will earn 10% on his services and 10% on his retail. Anything over £1,500 up into £3,000, he will earn 15% on his services and 10% on his retail. Now, anything, oh, sorry, I've made a mistake there, I do apologise. Anything from £3,000 up into as much money as he can humanly make, he will earn a flat rate of 20% on services and 20% on retail. Okay, so in your mind, you'll probably already be thinking exactly how you'll set your commission tiers out. So that is our commission schedule set out for James. All we need now to do is to link this schedule we have just created to our specific employee. To do this, all we do is we click the Done button, and it says the commission schedule has been modified. Do you wish to change the save? Do you wish to save the changes? Yes. Click Done. Now you will see, ladies and gents, it can take a couple of seconds for it to pull through. So all we need to do is just click the Done button, go back into our setup, navigate to our employees, find our specific employee, so it was James, and under the commission schedule, you will see James has now appeared. So we have now linked James's commission schedule to James, our employee. When we're happy, we just click the Save button. Perfect. Okay, so a nice start for us there, ladies and gents. We have set up our commission schedule for James, and we have linked that specific schedule to our employee, i.e. James. Now, this will lead us nicely into our next part of our webinar. We're going to start looking at some reports. So, of course, we do have a handy commission schedule report to show you. So I will navigate to that now for you. So all of our reports open up in exactly the same way, but I will show you some handy little tips along the way. So all of our reports are under the Tools section of our navigation bar, which I'm highlighting for you just now. So if you click onto that, and then all we need to do, the top section, just click onto Reports. Now, one thing, ladies and gents, please be aware, depending on your security settings for a specific member of staff, they may or may not have access to reports. If you find yourself later on when you're having a look for reports, you can't find this in your section, please do let me know, or do speak to your manager or any of the salon who will have access to this, who can give you access to your reports under security. Okay, so if we just jump straight into reports, and I'm highlighting it now for you. And the first report I'm going to look at is our commission and wages report, because we've just set up our commission schedule. So on the left-hand side, you will see we have a whole host of categories available for our reporting. Each one can be expanded by clicking the yellow cross, which will outline some more relevant and specific reports under that category. Okay. So the first report we're going to look at is our commission and wages report. So if we just expand employees by clicking the yellow cross, you will see we have the commission and wages report. Now, for the time being, please just work on the standard commission and wages report. We're not going to be using this extended one. So all we need to do is once we found our relevant report, we click onto it. You will see in the top right hand corner where my cursor is now, ladies and gents, this is where we will see a brief description outlining this report. When we're happy to view this report, all we do, down the bottom of the screen, please just click the view button. Okay, now as I said, all of our reports will open up in a very similar fashion. So you will get this screen come up in front of you, and you will see some information on the left-hand side. Now, for specific reports, you will see other information available to that report. So let's say you were looking at a stock report, you will see a product section on the left-hand side. You may also see a miscellaneous section on the left-hand side, but we will cover this moving forward over the next half an hour to 45 minutes. Okay. On the left-hand side, we have some default date ranges. So we can see we're looking at the current day, current week, current fortnight, and so on. We also have the same defaults for last. So you can see we've got last day, week, month, and year. And we can also have a look into the future. So next day, next week, next month, and next year. On the right-hand side, we also have a specific date we can navigate to. And underneath, we can look at a specific date range. To look at a specific date range, all we would do is click the calendar with the word range underneath it and choose 2 specific dates. Now for this particular report on the left-hand side, you can see we can look at a specific employee. To do this, all we would need to do is click the grey dotted square next to James, click the add button, and it will take James across. To remove someone, all we do is click the grey dotted square next to that specific employee and click the remove button. Okay, and when we're happy and we want to view this report, all we need to do is just simply hit the view button. So we are now looking at a commission and wages report specifically for James, and this is only for today. Now I could have chosen a more broader date range, but I thought just for the purpose of our webinar, I would just look at today. Okay, and you can see the information we have available to us here. Down the bottom, as with all of our reports, we have some more information we can look at. We have a search button. So if this is a more complex or more detailed report, we can click on the search button and search for some specific information. This may be a specific employee, it may be a specific client. We will touch more on this as we move through this webinar. We can also zoom in to the report. We can navigate forward and backwards between specific pages. We can also print the report if we need to, which can be really handy. We can also change the setup of our reports that can be printed out. So you might want to add in a new printer. And another fantastic tool we have here, ladies and gents, this report can be exported out. So we deal with a lot of salons that are being eco-friendly, or you may simply not want to print this report out. You may wish to email it across to your manager or even accountant. So clicking on the export button will export it out to a PDF file, a CSV file, attach that to an email, and away you go. Okay, so I just gave you a little bit of a brief information there of how our reports open. So as you can see, we are looking at our commission and wages report. So on the left-hand side for James, if you filled out the relevant base salary information, this will pull through here. And again, with the hours worked. Now, just to refresh you, ladies and gents, that is what we did right at the beginning when we were on James's employee profile card, when we were talking about adding in his salary, adding in his hours worked. Okay, we can also see his hourly rate. Now, at the moment for today, he isn't actually scheduled to do any hours, which is why his hourly hours worked is 0. Once that information has been filled out, you will see the total wages will appear here. The total service commission he has received will be just here. The total retail amount he will have generated will be just here. The total he will have earned for his commission will be just here. Now remember, James is earning 10%, and the total sundry. So you can see it's very easily broken down for each category. And when you're happy, all we need to do is just hit the done button. Okay, so just to reiterate, we have set up a commission schedule. We've linked that commission schedule to our relevant employee, i.e. James, and we have just pulled the commission and wages report under our employee section just here. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're going to jump into some of our favorite reports that I can show you, ladies and gents, this afternoon. So the first thing we're going to look at is our trading summary. Now this is one of our main business reports. For those of you that use our end of day wizard, where we cash up at the end of the day, you may have already seen this report. For those of you that hasn't, I will show you now. Okay, so all we need to do is expand the end of day category and just navigate down to trading summary. And again, you will see in the top right hand corner a brief description relevant to this specific report. And when we're happy, all we need to do is hit the view button. Okay, and again, we can see we have some default dates and some other dates on the right hand side if we wish to choose a specific date. Okay, now for today, I'm just going to have a look at today. So you can see it's navigated me straight to the 24th of April. And now all we need to do is simply hit the view button to view this report. Okay, so our trading summary, what is it? So the trading summary displays details of all of your takings, sales, liabilities, redemptions, and any key employee performance indicators, so our KPIs. The report also includes a breakdown of products, services, and sundry sales for each employee, as well for the business. Okay, you can also as well see a view of your payment type breakdown, as well as a range of key client transactional data. Okay, so it allows you to see basically any financial data for the salon. So the first thing we can see on the left-hand side are our takings. Now, at the moment for today, we have only taken money in credit and debit card. If we had taken some cash, you would see this directly underneath. And underneath, you can see total taken. So you can see we have £141 taken for today, and that was in credit and debit card. On the right-hand side, you will see a list of sales. Now, this shows the quantity of sales for services, products, and sundry items. Again, our sundry are gift cards and gift certificates, as well as the value of sales inclusive and exclusive of tax. Now, at the moment, we've only done services. We haven't run through any retail or anything sundry related like that. Okay, so underneath, you can see we have our net receipts. Now, this is taken from our total takings. Now, the net receipts basically is worked out, if you're not too sure, is from taking the total takings plus the cash rounding and any purchases on anyone's account. So if you're using like a deposit scheme. Moving further down here, you can see we have ticket averages. Now, each client transaction is referred to as a ticket. So that's what we mean by a ticket. A ticket average is the average client spend for a single visit calculated using a formula. Now, that formula is basically taken from the total number of services divided by the amount spent, so the amount accrued from that spend. Okay, so you can see we have 2 services at a value of £58.75. No products and 2 products in total, and they were business. They were put through as business, so that's why we don't have any money pulling through there. You will see on the right-hand side we have liabilities. Now, your liabilities are any monies owed to clients from the business. So that'll be things like gift certificates, gift cards, okay, or any series. So if anyone has ever purchased any series, you will see that down there. Okay, and you can see anyone that's accrued points through a loyalty scheme. On the left-hand side, we can see our specific clients, so the number of clients and the number of visits. The walk-in, new, and returning are used using our tags. So if you're using walk-in clients, any brand new clients, and any returning clients. A returning client is someone that has already been to your salon before. Okay, and we can also break it down into gender. So you can see we've got male, female, child, and unspecified. Unspecified is if they filled out their client card, but they didn't choose a gender. So that's why we've got unspecified there as well. And right down at the bottom, we can see the specific employee. So James, Sarah, and the business. Okay, so James had generated no revenue via products, but £87.50 through services, nothing through sundry. GC is your gift certificates. And we can see he did a total there of £87.50. And the percentage is used by taking both James and Sarah. So who did the sort of most, and they work it out into a percentage for. Okay, the average ticket, again, ladies and gents, that is a transaction. Each transaction is referred to as a ticket. And we can see on the right-hand side the employee time. So if you've set their schedule out, how often and how long for they were rostered out for. Okay, so this is a fantastic report we should be looking at sort of daily, or at least every time we cash up. And this is our trading summary. And like I said, all of our reports can be exported and they can also be printed. Okay, so I hope that's got us nice and warmed up, ready for our reports. That is our trading summary. So to navigate away from this, all we need to do is just simply hit the done button. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to work down from appointments all the way down to the bottom. Now, you will see each time we expand this, there are plenty of reports to get our teeth into. Unfortunately, I don't have time to go through them all today, but please do have a play around, see what you like the most, and that kind of thing, and then drop me a message if there's anything you want to know a little bit more. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to jump straight to is the appointment section on the left-hand side, and I'm just going to expand that. And I'm going to click onto appointment roster analysis. Now, our appointment roster analysis basically shows the productivity of our staff in a week or a month or a specific time range. Okay, so we click the view button. I'm just going to look at the current week. So how this opens up, you can see we've got the percent of rostered time per employee. On the left-hand side, we've got the percentage of rostered time booked. Okay, and down the bottom here, we have each day of the week. Now, I'm only looking at a 1 week calendar here. And on the right-hand side, you can see each of the colors that represent one of our employees. So if I have a look at James on the left-hand side, I can see the amount of time he was booked out. So on the left-hand side, it will show you all the hours he was booked out with clients. And down the bottom, we can see a date. So what I am going to do is I'm just going to change this report just a little bit, just really quickly for you, ladies and gents, just so we've got a little bit more information coming through. So I'm going to change it just to have a look at the current month. Perfect. I could have shown you as it was, but I think it's a good idea to get a little bit more information pulled through. So if we have a look at James, this is something we more want to be looking at. Okay, so on the left-hand side, we have some hours, and down the bottom, we have each day. Now, each color, so we can see we've got a red line here and a blue line here. The blue line are the hours he was booked out with clients, and the red line is the hours he was rostered to work. So this was like his 9 to 5 working day. So on the 9th of April, we can see he was booked out for just over 6 hours with clients, but he was rostered to work just under 10 hours. On the 10th, he was booked out with clients for 6 hours, and again, we can see he was rostered to work just under 9 hours. So we can see he's just slightly over halfway, over 50% productivity and efficient with his clients. So we can see that down here. You can see how it's written. So on the 9th, we can see he was booked out for 6 hours and 15 minutes with clients, and the times he was rostered to work was 9 hours and 30 minutes, making him 66% efficient with his working day. On the 10th, we can see he was set to work 9 hours and 30 minutes again, and he was only booked out this time with clients for 6 hours, this time making him 63% efficient with his clients. Okay. On the 16th of April, we can see he was booked out with clients for just under an hour, and he was actually his day off that day, so he was 100% efficient. In an ideal world, ladies and gents, what we would like to see is this blue line completely mirror this red line. That would mean they were 100% rostered out with clients. Okay, so that is our appointment roster analysis. Again, that shows our productivity for our staff. And again, to navigate away from this report, all we need to do is just hit the done button. Okay, one of the other reports we can have a look at, which is fantastic to look at if you're using a new member of staff, or perhaps if you're going away on holiday somewhere and you want to look into the future. We can have a look at our value of future appointments. So again, for this one, it's a good idea to look slightly further into the future. So for this time, I'm going to use our specific date range just here. And I'm going to have a look from Monday all the way up until Saturday, just so I can see exactly how much money we're set to take in that date range. Okay, so we can see from Monday the 22nd up until this Saturday, the 27th of April, which is a time period of 6 days. And currently we are looking at all of our employees. We are set to take a total of £442. Now, please bear in mind, ladies and gents, if when the day comes you do offer that client discount, this will no longer be relevant, this amount. This will only be what's currently booked in, so sort of by book price. Okay. And as we work our way down, we can see a percentage of those appointments for each employee. So we can see Sarah is set to take £236 and she makes up 53% of all the booked appointments. James is set to make £105 and he makes up 24% of all the booked appointments. And lastly, we can see Matt is set to take £101 in the next 6 days and he makes up 23% of the booked appointments. Okay, if you prefer to look at a bar chart, we've also got this on the right hand side that I'm just highlighting now. And we can also see the value of the appointments booked per month. So this is for the total of April. We'll obviously include the 6 days that I've specified, but this is for the entire month of April. So we can see we're just set to make just under £450. Okay, so there we go, a fantastic one to look at to keep an eye on any new employees that we have, or perhaps if you're going on holiday and you just want to see if you're going to make your monthly target. Okay. So I'm going to minimize appointments and I'm just going to open up the business report now. Now, one thing you can have a look at is just a real quick one, is your profit and loss report. Now, this is only more specified if you're using our petty cash system. Now, at the moment, I'm not actually using petty cash, but I will show you it just on the report anyway. It shows you money into the business versus money going out of the business. So I'm going to look at the current year. Okay, so you can see through income, we've not excuse me, sorry, we've not made any money via products, but we have made £828 via services. And you can see we have given some free services away, costing us £28.83. So if we take that amount from 82876, you can see the total income was £807.93. Now you see we have some expenses. Now I've got here professional products. This is if you are scanning out any professional products. If you're not using this fantastic feature, please do let me know. It isn't related to reporting, so unfortunately I can't go through it today, but it is a way to keep track of all of your professional stock usage. Okay, so you can see I've used professional products that equated to £6.15. Of course, if you are using petty cash or anything like that, that will also show. So if we take that amount from our income, you can see our profit is £801.78. Now, of course, ladies and gents, this doesn't take into consideration our overheads, our bills, our wages, and our rent and things like that. Okay, just a quick one just to show you there, just as we are moving through our reports. Okay, so if I just expand our clients, a great one to look at, especially on the lead up to any sort of events such as Christmas, Easter, I know we've just missed that, or anything like that, we can have a look at our top spending clients. Now, you may wish to look at this and then offer that client a relevant discount or something like that, or you may just be interested to see who is spending the most amount of money in your salon. Okay, so I'm going to have a look at the current month. Okay, so our top spending clients. The top spending client reports, it basically displays a list of your top 20 clients in order of the total amount spent within a given time range, so the current month. And if you wish to view more or fewer, you can change the number of clients listed in the report through the report options. Now that will be at the beginning. Now at the moment we've just gone for the top 20. I think that's a nice amount to look at, but you can of course change that at the beginning if you need to. Okay, so we have our client here. So for the last 30 days, so for the whole of April, we can see a Mr. Gareth Southdoor. You can see his phone number if applicable, if you need to phone him up for any reason. Number of tickets. Now remember, our number of tickets are our transactions he's had, and his total spend was £166. Underneath, we can see we have a Mr. Bugs Bunny. He has had 3 services, and his total spend for those 3 services came to £150.15. Now, the average spend is taken from the total spend divided by the number of services to get the average service spend. And we can see that for each of our clients as we work down. And right at the bottom, you can see we have our total just here. So again, it's quite a nice report just to be looking at if you ever want to reward any of our clients that are spending the most amount of money, or any loyal clients that are spending the most with us. And that is our top spending clients report. Perfect. So another report we can have a look at under the employee section will be our performance summary. Now, performance summary is a fantastic report to be looking at, especially for weekly, monthly, or yearly reviews with our staff. Okay, so if we just expand employees, and again, if we just look at the performance summary report just here, click the view button, and we can have a look at the current month. Okay, so our employee performance report is a summary which provides an overview of all of your employees' performances, and it's organized in a way that allows you to easily view information about a particular service report category. Now, your report categories are what you set up each time you create a new service. So you will see here we have our reports category. So we can see for Sarah, there was 8 clients. 4 of those clients were linked to lady services. 3 of the services were linked to men's services, and 2 of the services were linked to colouring. 1 was for treatment, and 2 for beauty, and none for classes. You don't need to worry about the RPTS 7 and 8. That is if you've not created a specific report category for that number. So you can just ignore that for the time being. Retail points, that is anything they've generated via retail. Now, we already know, looking back at our previous reports, we haven't generated anything for retail. Sundry, again, is for our gift certificates and any one-off payments. And the total amount of services was £314.67. So the total, again, was £314.67. The average client spend is just under £40. That's taken from the total divided by our total number of clients. And we can see it's broken down for each of our employees, so Matt and James. And down the bottom, we can see if we add up all of our clients, we have a total, and it will also do a total for each of our reports categories. And this figure, ladies and gents, right down the bottom is the total spent for each of that report category. So the total spent for the ladies for this month was £100.18. £194.50 for our men's reports category, £166.66 for our colour reports categories, and so on. So we can see how easily it is broken down via our reports categories. Okay, now if you were using series, you would have a section just here, and that would show any series. But at the moment, as we're not using series, this isn't shown. But I'm just letting you know, if you do want to look at your series, it will also pull through to the employee performance summary. Okay, perfect. So there we go. That is our employee performance summary. Hope everyone's still okay. We're about 50–60% the way through, ladies and gents. So I hope you're finding it informative as we go through. So one other report we can have a look at is hours by roster type. Now, this is particularly important for our managers, directors, and owners of the salon. What this will show us is the hours and the type of hours that one of our employees was booked out for. Now, this can be something such as holiday, sickness, day off, and so forth. Oops, sorry, wrong one. I meant to go on to hours by roster type. So if we click onto hours by roster type, again, we can choose a specific date range. So I'm going to look at the current month. Okay, so on the left-hand side, you can see all of our specific employees. So if we click straight onto Sarah, we can see she has equated 76 hours of normal working time, and there was 9 hours and 30 minutes for her day off. James, there was 38 hours worked for normal working hours, 28 hours and 30 minutes for his day off, and he had 19 hours as sickness. Now, where it says here, no breaks taken, this isn't if they didn't actually take a break. It's if when you're setting out your schedules and roster types, you automatically put people's breaks in. If you don't know how to do that, please do let me know at the end of the session. I'll be more than happy to show you how to do that. Okay, now this is a fantastic report to be looking at the end of the year. So you can look back and see exactly how many hours were booked out for normal working hours, how many hours people had as sickness or day off, things like that. You can also see if people are taking too much holiday, that kind of thing. So a fantastic report to be looking at for our managers and our directors of the salon. Okay, perfect. So that was our hours by roster type. Now, I'm going to show you a bit more of a light-hearted report now, ladies and gents, and I'm going to show you our ranking report. Now, this is just to promote healthy competition between your stylists in the salon. So if we just click onto the ranking button just here, and click the view button as before, we can see how well all of our stylists rank compared to each other in a specific time frame. So again, I'm going to look at the current month. Okay, so this will show us our top 10 employees. Now, I only have 3 to be working with here. So we can see for the whole of April, the total amount of services, Sarah was top with a total amount of £314.67. We can see Matt was second and he performed £282.43 in services, and James brought in £231.66 in services. We can then split it down further into products. So we can see James actually is at the top here, although no one has sold any products. But if they were, you would see exactly who sold the amount of products. And then it would show you the total. So this would add your services and your products together to create a total. Now, as I said, no one unfortunately has sold any products for me. That is why the total matches the service. We can also split it down further and see a service per hour. That's taken from the total amount divided by the amount of services they have done. So we can see James has an average of £24.39 for a service per hour, and Sarah is £16.56, and Matt being just shy of Sarah there at £14.86. And we can see on the far right hand side exactly how many guests they did within that specific date range. So Sarah had 8 guests, James had 6, Matt had 4, and Z Business, which is the business, had 2. So again, a fantastic report just to be looking at, just to sort of promote a little bit of friendly and healthy competition just in the salon there. Okay, so moving through, I'm just going to minimize employees there. We've already looked at our trading summary again, which is one of the fantastic ones to be looking at. Miscellaneous will show any forms, reports such as your A4 receipt if you need to print one of those out, your stock maintenance form, anything like that, or anything like the emergency list, and importantly, your new client form if you're using the paper new client forms. This is where they will also sit. Okay, so moving on to services. If we expand services, a great one to look at is service breakdown by category. Now this is a great report to be looking at. If you find yourself doing more half header highlights than full header highlights, you can keep track of it that way. Okay, so this is our category here, and it will show each specific service which falls under that category. Okay, so we can see we have a total of 3 eyebrow waxes, which brought us in a total revenue of £27.91. The average spend is £9.30. As like before with any of the reports, the average is worked out from taking the total and dividing it by the amount of services, so divided by 3. Facial we can see was £66.68, file and polish £8.33, massage £83.33, and we have a test service which someone kindly set up for us, which brought in £27.85. Underneath, within the 2 lines, we can see a total, so that's all of our services for beauty added up. The total here, the total amount generated by revenue. The percent of money here, which is this one just here, this is for all of our services that show the report. So we can see 25%, or just under 26% of all of our services were made up via beauty. So this maybe you're looking at a new service you have and want to see exactly how well it's performing. So we can scroll down and we can have a look at our color. So we've got full header highlights, £125. £41.66 for our regrowth, and continuing the trend as we go down. Men, nails and treatments. Right down the bottom we can see the total for all of the service categories. So the total number of services 33, the total amount generated is £828.76, and the total average spend was £25.11. So again, this kind of information is brilliant to look at on an ongoing basis to see exactly how well each of our services are doing. Like I said at the beginning, specifically well, if we want to see if we have a new service to see how well it is performing, that could be you've maybe just started doing lash extensions, Balmain, something like that, hair extensions, something like that. And again, something to keep an eye on, we can see we've got full head of highlights. If we were constantly seeing half head of highlights, we may wish to think, okay, how can we change those half heads into full heads and generate a little bit more income? Okay, perfect. So we click the done button to navigate away from that. Moving on to our stock, two fantastic reports to be looking at is our professional stock usage. Now this is if you are scanning out your products to #business. For those of you, as soon as I said that, didn't know what I was talking about, please do drop me an email and I'm more than happy to put aside some time in the next couple of days just to explain exactly what I mean via that. For those of you that are scanning out your products to #business and you're not looking at this report, this is a fantastic report to look at. So the professional stock usage report shows us a breakdown of all of our professional products sold or scanned out to #business. This is basically taking our products off a shelf to use professionally. Okay, so for the current month of April, we are looking at all companies. So L'Oreal and Paul Mitchell, as we can see on the left-hand side. We can see the totals for all the product sales in this period selected, that is 12. So that is 12 products I have used professionally. And that could be I've used a retail product, but I've used it professionally. Okay, so we can see under the category of L'Oreal, we have used one shampoo, which was our blonde shampoo. Under Paul Mitchell, we have used 11, and they all fell under the blonding system. So the average product cost was 56p, and it came to a total of £6.15. Now you will understand this a little bit more when you do it with yourself because you will have your buy and sell prices incorrectly. But like I said, if you haven't had any stock training or you do wish to have some more stock training to make this report a little bit more relevant and make it understandable a little bit easier, please do let me know and we can look at getting that set up. But if you are using the #business setup, you will understand exactly how this report works. Perfect. So a fantastic report we're going to look at now is our stock control report. Now this report, all of our salons should be looking at. They should be looking at it weekly, monthly, or however often they wish to look at it, but specifically when we come to the end of our tax year. So it could be the end of the quarter or the total end of the year. Now we may get our accountant that says to us, salon, let me know exactly how much money you have on your shelf right now. Now it is important, ladies and gents, at this moment in time, we have done a stock take to ensure our current levels are correct because we don't want to throw our figures out, and also make sure we have our correct buy and sell prices in for this report to work correctly. Okay, so all we need to do is click onto the stock control report and just click the view button. Now for this, ladies and gents, you will see we only have today's date to look at. It is live right up until now. We can go back another date, but as you can imagine, within that time period, more products might have been sold. So we can only look at sort of the here and now. So we can see exactly how much money we have on our shelf right now. On the left-hand side, if you have loads of products to look at, you can be more specific and choose a specific product. So we can see straight away for all of our Paul Mitchell products. This shows us retail and professional products. You can see we have a total in stock of 41 products. So we have 41 products in stock right now. Again, this is exactly why I explained we need to make sure our current levels are correct. It will show any warnings we have for any low products, our maximum amount we wish to have on our shelf at any one time. If we have already used our ordering system to place an order, you will see they are on order here, and the average cost of each product. So straight away at the top, to make it nice and easy, we can see we have value on hand right now at £354.50. And we can break it down a little bit further. So we can see we have 3 boutique boxes under the Awapui range. and we can see we have 3 for the finishing spray, 4 for the finishing spray at 75 mils, and so on. And you can see for each of those products we have an average cost. On the right hand side we have the total value on hand. So for this finishing spray we have a total value on hand right now at just under £30. Now this is a great report for your accountant, so just to reiterate, you may wish to print this out and mail it across. Again, to save you some time, you can export this report out and email it directly across to him straight away. Again, a fantastic report to look at the end of our tax years. Okay, ladies and gents, so we've got just a couple more reports we can look at, but like I said, there are hundreds to keep yourselves occupied with, so please do have a look and see which one take your fancy the most. So if we go down to transactions just underneath, if we click onto daily transactions, this will show you all of the transactions and via payment type for a specific day. So I'm going to look at today. So you can see how many transactions we have done today, the client on the left hand side, and how they paid, what time they checked out, and which terminal they were using. Your terminal is your computer. If you've got more than one, it will show you which terminal it was checked out on. We can also see the amount that that client paid. Now this report is particularly good to look at, just to see on a daily basis how much money you're generating and whether it's via cash or card, but it's also really handy as we know what it's like. Occasionally, sometimes we do make a mistake when checking a client out, and we check them out as cash when they really paid by card, and we notice this error when we're doing our cashing out. This is a great way to just double check to see how our clients paid. And we can see the breakdown just here. So everyone is paid by credit or debit card, and we can see that here where it says £141, and nothing via check, nothing via cash. You don't need to worry about FTPOS and anything others. That could be American Express, check, anything like that. Underneath, how many club points were redeemed, gift certificates, gift cards or loyalty, and any series redemption and memberships if your particular salon is using that. Perfect. So just coming to the end of our session there, ladies and gents, there is just one other report I'm just going to show you, which is our discount reason breakdown. Now, we know what it's like. Some salons, we do offer some discount. This is a great way to track all of the types of discounts we are offering and to see whether we're offering too much for a specific discount or potentially whether we want to pull that discount because it's just simply not working for us. So again, under the transaction one, we're just going to have a look at discount reason breakdown. Now, once you've looked at this report, you may wish to jump straight into by employee, which will show you who has been given all of those discounts. Perfect. So for the current year, I can see I've only given a total of two lots of discount for each of our services. So we can see for Bugs Bunny, the discount reason was a complimentary. The discount given was £1.50, and therefore he paid me £13.50. That's how much was received from that particular transaction. And lastly, we can see a Mr. Gary Evans. He had a discount of £3 and he paid £27. And you can see we have the totals underneath. So a total of £4.50 discount was given for the entire year. Well, hey, so well done me. I wasn't very generous this year. And we can see the total amount received was £40.50 for those transactions that were discounted. Okay, so down here we can see the services. They made up all of our discounts. But if you are given discount on products and sundry and things like that, you will also see that there. Perfect. Okay, ladies and gents, we managed to get through a lot there. I'm really pleased that I managed to get through a lot. So I hope you found that informative. Like I said, there are a lot of reports to go through. I've tried to be quite broad with it and go through each of our categories just so you can see. But like I said, if you do have any questions or anything particularly you would like to go through, please feel free to drop me any questions, or if you want to drop me an email in the next couple of days, you're more than welcome to, and I can of course call you up for a few minutes and just go through them. I did see somebody just drop me a question, so I'm just going to have a quick look at that. Perfect. Okay, so Elizabeth has just asked, how do I pull off a report for gift cards? Is that gift cards, is in the ones you've purchased via us, so like the plastic ones? Perfect. Okay, so that will be ever so slightly different. Gift cards will be done through our online console. So it may be worth just dropping me an email maybe after the session or tomorrow where I can just jump on your system at a convenient time and just show you how to run that report for gift cards. But in regards to your other question, using gift certificates, that is done via Shortcuts. We do have a report, which if we go to our reports, we can see we have any expiring gift certificates, that kind of thing. That's a good report to have a look at. But you will also see any money generated via gift certificates will also be on your trading summary. But if you're just purely using our gift certificates, this is just directly aimed at Elizabeth Fit, just so you know. That will be through your console. But yeah, gift cards are done via our console. Gift certificates are done via the reports category that we're looking at now. Perfect. Okay, so we'll stay online just a couple more minutes there, ladies and gents. Like I said, I hope you found that informative. We managed to get through a whole host of reports there. Please do stay tuned over the next coming weeks and next coming months. We will be having a load of reports, a load of webinars, a load of training sessions for you to get yourself booked into. We will be going through next week. We'll be looking at the Cloud Appointment Book, which is a fantastic tool to be using. If you're not already using it, please do jump onto that, and I'll be showing you how to set up the Cloud Appointment Book, how we can use it, how we can access it. We'll be looking at targets. We'll be looking at cloud reporting as well. So we'll be taking some of the reports we've looked at today, not all of them, unfortunately. We'll be taking a few select reports, such as trading summary. We can take that on the move. So if you go abroad, go on holiday, anywhere on the move, you can access it. Okay, so you don't need to be stuck in the salon. You don't need to be stuck at your desk. And that will be coming up in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, there we go, ladies and gents. Like I said, I will stay online for a couple more minutes more, just in case anyone does have any last minute questions. I hope you found that informative. If not, if I don't hear from you, thank you ever so much for joining. Again, my name was Chris. Thank you ever so much, and enjoy the rest of your day. Okay, so it looks like all the questions have come through. If you do have any questions, please fire them across now. If not, you're more than welcome to give us a call or just drop me an email, and I'll be more than happy to help. Okay, lovely. I think that's all the questions come through. Thank you ever so much for joining me this afternoon, ladies and gents. I hope to speak to you again very soon. All the best. Take care for now. Bye-bye.